So I got blocked after years of not getting blocked. And once again, this is going to be a quick show cuz I got laundry to do. The sun has the sun has gone down. So anybody who knows when you pay a light bill and shit, you do your laundry when the sun goes down. Alrighty then. So, next topic. Multiple kids, no daddy support equals no respect. Let's walk into this. When you express your life to somebody, that's first impressions, right? I don't give a fuck about people. I don't care, to be honest with them. I don't care. I don't know you. You're a fucking stranger. I don't give a fuck if you and I have associated on a consistent basis in my real life. You're a fucking stranger, okay? No matter how friendly I come off. And so I don't owe a stranger truth, okay? And this is why I don't let people close to me. Now, maybe that's a bit of my narcissistic traits, or maybe that's just me being an adult and being honest with myself, right? Okay. So, when you are expressing what happened to you in a previous relationship, or what you've done, or whatever happened in any relationship, it could have been a month ago, you are expressing to people who you are. Do you understand what I mean? You sit here and you be like, yeah, I was in that relationship, that person cheated on me, there was an alcoholic, and this and that, and they lied to me, or this person made it seem like we were going to get married and we didn't. I want you to understand something. When you're in your 20s, okay, to about 27, and some people give you grace and say your whole entire 20s, right? Because once you hit, for me as an astrologer, 27 to 30, that's when you are forced to grow the fuck up. That's when you're forced to get your lessons. That's when you're pushed to be more of who you are, become who you are. Then your 30s hit, and then life goes on. And so people can forgive that because you don't know how trifling people are unless, like myself, you've been out there in this world as a teenager and seeing what this world did, seeing how fucked up people are. You see what I'm saying? To just know how fucked up people are. You get what I'm saying? That's the difference. You kind of get an early life start in a worse way, in a harsh way, but you get a good early life start to know that this ain't it. You feel me? So then you have this other part where once you hit the 30s into the 40s and on, everybody's looking at you like, something's not right. And there's a spiritual reason for that. When you sit here and you say, I have multiple children by multiple men, there's going to be a question. I have multiple children by multiple women. There's going to be a question. But we're talking to women right now, right? There's going to be questions. Natural questions. I have children by the same man. We never married. There's going to be questions. I have one child. There's going to be questions. Really going to be questions when you're my age, right? You got to understand that. Now, these males, and that's another topic. When these males talk, I need y'all to listen to them. But hear me out. In a very detached way. And go into these male spaces and listen to their panels and their discussions. I can't tolerate them. So I can't be there for too long, okay? Because I've heard it all before. Like, I've heard it all before for my 40 years on this planet, all right? But listen to what they say and what they talk about. This is why the Manosphere is a great channel, or the red pill shit is a great. Listen to what they're telling you about the women that they're with and how they're fucking judging them, what they think about them. I used to wonder why I used to get this kind of conniving way that men would talk to me. And then once I continue to talk and talk, and they see that I'm a very intelligent woman, their whole tune would change. But at that time, I did not understand what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't pay them no attention. So I didn't know what was going on. And so I started to learn what was going on with these males. See, the thing is, you have to understand, number one, if you still choose to date black males, okay, or anything that's black related, that's a male, you need to understand that it's going to judge you. Why? Because it lives a life where it can get shot for holding a cell phone. It lives a life where it could just get beat down for the color of its skin. I just saw news that said a cop got shot and they framed it on a nigga. Not surprised there. Didn't I tell y'all that was definitely, is coming, you know, it's coming. So understand that. But let me get to the women. When you express that you have multiple children by multiple males, and none of them are supporting you with the children, that tells not only that you have been used, pumped and dumped, not respected, but that says that you are a user. You pump and dump people in a metaphoric sense. And you are not consistent, neither are reliable. See, here's the trick. Look at the kind of jobs these women take on. They become nurses. Now, nurses, that's a hell of a job. But everybody is on to the fact that nurses are mean. Y'all all know my nan was a nurse. You understand? Raising her grandchildren, me being one of them, right? Listen to this. A lot of black bitches go to school to be a nurse, but rarely do you see many of them go to be a doctor. Okay? Rarely. I met one woman who was going to be a doctor, but yet she was a nurse, but she said she was going to be a doctor. I don't fucking know. I don't know how she was going to school to be a doctor. Well, I don't know. This is what I'm saying. And so a lot of the jobs and careers these type of women take on are pretty goddamn lazy. Nothing is lazy when you're going to school, but they're pretty goddamn lazy. They're not going to school to be PhDs. They're not doing none of that because they're still involved in all of these relationships and people and friends and niggas and all this kind of shit. But let's get to the major point. Whenever you meet somebody, I make it clear. You don't tell your secrets, okay? Whenever you meet somebody, especially when you're dealing with males, you have to be strategic. He's playing mind games. You're playing. Everybody's playing mind games in this world. That's just what it is to be on this planet. Everybody plays fucking mind games because nobody knows nobody. And that's the reality of why the mind games happen, because I don't know you. That's the facts. You knock on my door telling me you from some church, this and that. That don't mean I believe you. What do you want? You want something. See what I'm saying? You're not giving me something. You're giving to take. You want something. What do you want? Y'all could work for the police to be casing the fucking place, trying to have casual conversations with me and shit. I don't fucking know you. You see? That's the reality. Another thing. You have to look at why people approach you. I say this a million times. I know that. What is it about yourself that makes people approach you? What is it about yourself that makes people like you or don't like you? What is it about yourself that is attractive to other people if they are really attracted to you? Or what is it about people that think that they can come around and do the things they do to you. You have to examine yourself to this level of capacity. And you have to have the capacity to reflect upon yourself like this. You have to look into the mirror deeply. Look at your face. Look at your skin. How do you look? How do you walk? How do you wear your clothes? Most people who are in clothes and fashion, we usually have a whole body mirror. I got to go get a body mirror. I just totally forgot about it, but I need to get a body mirror. We do that. Trust me, that person that looks fresh and good and clothes is tucked up and all that, they have a fucking body mirror in that house. Or they're looking at their whole self something. You have to walk, you have to talk, you have to see how you carry yourself when you walk outside. Now, some people are assholes. I'm not taking that away. Some people are jerks. I'm not taking that. Some people are complete psychopaths, narcissists, sociopaths. I get it. I'm not taking that away. What I'm saying is, with a lot of Black women, I find, oh, I got 5 kids and no help and I do it all on my own. Bitch, you got to. You got to. You got to put your big girl panties on. You got to. That's not a flex. I never felt that anything impressive to me. If you tell me that shit, I promise you I won't have no facial expression when you tell me that. I might be trying to hide rolling my fucking eyes hard at you because I don't give a fuck. That's not a flex. And I'm just saying. When you say, I have a kid, and the person who I had this child with does not do nothing for my child, you know what that says to somebody? Number one, you allow yourself to be used, misused, and abused. Number one. Another thing that it tells people, well, do you even know who the child father is, right? That might be the first one. Another thing that it's going to say to somebody is, I can do the same thing and there's no consequences. And another thing it's going to say is, you do not know how to put your foot down and demand respect or demand that something gets done for your child, or you don't protect or demand what your child needs as the child needs it. That's what all that says. And you can debate me on that. Multiple kids, no daddy support, welfare equals no respect. And that's the facts. As a woman, who I am, I don't count in this equation. I don't fuck with males. I don't date them. Okay? I'm out of this. I don't have no bone in this motherfucking fight. You understand? Because at the end of the day, I don't tell them the fucking truth. They better hope I even say I have them. They better hope they even get any type of conversation out of me that I don't want to have. Like, I control what kind of conversation I want to have when a male comes, if I even want to have it. That's just how I am, okay? But other than that, I don't fucking count. Because even as what I am with one dick that is a father that belongs to those children, the only question I'm going to get is, why you didn't get married? That's the only question I'm going to get. And I might get somebody to say something other shit about being back together. That's the only question I'm going to get. But I don't put myself to be questioned. That's why I move the way that I move. And that's why a lot of people don't like me. Do you understand that I'm a beautiful woman? I stand on that. I'm a beautiful woman, not just physically, but just who I am, personality-wise, intelligence. I can go on and on about myself. And this is not no grandiose thing about me. This is something that I know about myself. I know myself, okay? Here's the thing. I don't give a fuck about people. I don't give a fuck to be validated by people. I don't give a fuck to announce anything, and I damn sure don't give a fuck to explain a goddamn thing to motherfucking strangers online. Somebody can go on their podcast right now and talk cash shit about me. I will not call in. I will not say nothing. I will let them have it. I might just sit in the room. I might sit in the chat room and be like, oh, that's what you think? That's what you think? And charge them up and rile them up, because I don't give a fuck. And when I say I don't give a fuck, I really don't give a fuck. Now, these women with multiple kids, multiple fathers, they have to be validated. They have to make up for something. It's equivalent to the teenage mother. She has to be something. She has to make up for something. Because subconsciously, these women know that they are being judged. Subconsciously, these women know that people have a problem with their life and the way they have done it. Subconsciously, they know that. Okay? Understand that I realized something that sounds strange, but hear me out. The lesbian or gay woman, right? I'm starting to realize she has something about her life that is way more smarter than a heterosexual woman. Anytime a woman's a lesbian, she may have one child, or if she has no more than 3 or no more than 2, it's always between 2 and 3 children. She has it with one dick. She never gets married, and she goes on with her life. That's what I realized with a lesbian woman. And the children are chosen by a male who takes care of his children, who the family is a good family, and she can go and live her life as free as she wants to live it because she has it at her hands that someone will take in those children, and she can go live her life, and she could care less about the father. They just co-parent, and that's it, right? Women who are heterosexual or who's bi that prefer dicks more, I noticed that they are the women who have multiple children and multiple baby fathers. So if a woman has multiple children and multiple baby fathers, she is not a lesbian. If she's in a relationship with a stud or whatever, that's not a lesbian woman. That's a woman that's doing a replaceable male. The woman who's not like that, that's not a replaceable male. She's lesbian. She in the relationship with that woman. And more than likely, she'll be in a relationship with that woman for a long time, or multiple women, whatever. But that main one, she'll be with her for a very long time. And she may marry her. Marriage and love and multiple children, this is all heteronormative thing and fantasy that has been created in this patriarch. I'm being said that as I start thinking about this. So the woman who is the heteronormative or bi whatever is going to have children with multiple men. A lesbian woman does not do that. She has standards. She has boundaries with her reproductive system. She's not. It's like it's interesting because it's like, this is the one I choose to have my children with. It's like a surrogate. He becomes a surrogate. This is the one I choose to have my children with. And then after this, I'm done. I literally had my last child at 30 years old. I never had any children after that. I never put myself in a situation to have any more children. So for the past 10 years of my motherfucking life, there was nothing of a situation that I put myself into to have children. And let's add, I was celibate in my midlife, 30s. And a lot of heteronormative women can't do that. They only do it to get a man's attention. Heteronormative women can't do anything without that male mind of wanting the validation outside herself of how she's living her life and what she's doing. That's why she goes so hard to talk about her children. That's why she goes so hard to talk about her children's life and her children's lifestyle. She goes so hard to do that because that's the only thing that becomes a part of who she is. And this is where the narcissism of motherhood comes in, where you have those mothers that vicariously live through their children and they don't have their own fucking lives. And this is why when you begin to take that woman and you begin to ask her questions, she snaps, crackles, and fucking pops. Because she doesn't have the capacity to ever self-reflect on why she has multiple children, no help, not even from one of them. And we're going to get to the ones that do have it. We're going to get to that next. No help, still fucking around. And then also, she doesn't want to deal with the reality of, even if she had been married or she did have a solid relationship that did not end in marriage or whatever the case is, she is going to always point the finger at the other person. She never looks at herself. Now, I've heard males that said they've been in a relationship with women with multiple children. They said they'll never do it again because it's too much drama, it's too much lies, it's too much deceit. Though that's what I'm getting at. The way you've been lied to, the deceit, the not knowing who your children for, that's telling who your personality is. You are a trifling, untrustworthy bitch. Do you understand? That's really what I wanted to say. A trifling, untrustworthy bitch. You're manipulative, you're conniving, you're narcissistic, probably a fucking sociopath, psychotic. You lie a lot, you lie to yourself, you use everybody that you can use, you have no friends, and you don't love yourself. That's what it all means. And so she does not want to accept the reality of that. If you have a friend right now who is the woman I'm talking about, listen to me. She is not your friend. She is nobody's friend. You call her your bestie, she is not your bestie. I guaranteed you there's somebody, some dude, somewhere where she's talking cash shit about you. And if your life is not like hers, woe to you, because then she's really talking shit about you. And you have to understand, why do these women, why don't they attract other friends like themselves? Why do they attract the lesbian friend? Why do they always attract the friend that has a more free life? Or the one who was wise enough to just have 1 or 2 children and have it with the same man? Why do these women attract that? Because they're leeches. And they want to take what you have and the life that you have and the choices that you have. If you pay attention, she's trying to make your life like hers. There's a jealousy and an envy that's there. There's no way a woman like that could be anybody's friend. No way. Section 8, a bunch of child support for different children. The children are being neglected emotionally from the other co-parent. I can go on. From time the mother know who's the father and don't tell, because most of the time the father belongs to a wife, somebody else. It's a very convoluted, chaotic, trifling life. And that is what it tells when someone tells you that about themselves. That's why when a woman says how many children she have, the male will ask, how many fathers? And I would understand, now I get why when I would start talking, because I would say, I don't like men like that. Only one. The reaction that I would get from that, I didn't get it before because I didn't give a fuck. I was just living my life, minding my fucking business before somebody decided to talk to me. But now I get it. Now I'm starting to come to understand why I got that reaction. I'm starting to come to understand, I've been starting to come to understand why I get the reaction I get about who I am, my life, and neighbors pretending their kids knocking on the door to see what I look like and this kind of shit. When you live a free life, an unapologetically free life, you are going to have people that is going to hate you for it. You're going to have people that are going to be jealous of it. And when you're an intelligent woman on top of that, and a beautiful one, and you love yourself, you are a force to be fucked with. See, when you have that level of sharpness, can a bitch that have that going on just come in your life and be your friend? Can a bitch like that come into your life and give you a sob story because she wants something? You ain't gonna give it to her. She gets off on cheap favors. That's food. It's root chakra shit, male shit. Food, sex, seduction, affection, flirting. This is how that woman is going to pull you in or try to pull you in. oh, let me show you me fucking on video, or let me show me sucking a dick or something. These are the type of things that is a part of how she builds the friendship with you. Because I mean, she did a whole lot of fucking. That's why she got all them kids by different dicks. You have to say it like it is. Different children by different dicks. Different children by different dicks. There's a harsh reality that is there. These are the things that trigger people. When you get into, like one time, okay, catch it. Gay guy was in a divested room, and the host made a comment and said, fuck him. He looked at his own dick and looked at another dick and said, I'm going to decide to go suck it, right? Now, somebody can be like, you pussy licking, you pussy eating bitch, you pussy humping bitch. And I'll be like, hell yeah, bitch. That shit feel good. Because that is how people are going to try to go low. That's how low people go to try to attack you. Okay? Because you have to understand, this is what I've been trying, this is what the main thing I've been talking about since I started this fucking series. Everybody is going to use something, anything about you to hurt you. You got to understand that. When you're in close proximity to people, you got to build a mind map and you got to play a chess game. Who's the pawn in your game? Who's the pawn at your job? Who's the rook? Who's the queen? Who's the king? Who's the ultimate queen in your job? Who is the knight? You know, the one who attacks from the side. No, the rook goes up and down, left and right. The knight goes up, up, left or right. So that's the person that plays two sides. See what I'm saying? You have to look at life like that every day. You have to be in your head. Like when you're in your head in life like that, it sounds like PTSD. It sounds crazy, but it's not. Trust me. You have to be 10 steps ahead. It was an Aquarius Cancer moon woman with a Cancer rising that taught me that. She said, you always need to be 10 steps ahead of people. And she's absolutely right. She couldn't be more fucking right. I need to email her. She couldn't be more right. And on top of that, you don't fall into the pressures of society. A lot of societal things are very stupid. This is the patriarch. It's ruled by men. So a lot of shit is very stupid and it doesn't make fucking sense. A lot of people are parrots. You tell somebody you have one, you tell somebody you have three, you tell somebody you have five, they ask you if you want more. That's stupid. That's why I don't be wanting to talk to people at work. I try to keep it work related. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to get close to people. And I keep it that way. After that situation, I had another situation at work with another elder. I switched up a bit. I don't really be fucking with nobody like that. I don't really talk to nobody like that. That was my place to kind of just use that situation. You understand? To be like, the situation happened. I reacted to it like this. Let me just fall back for a little bit. Let me not express. Let me just say I'm okay. We're going to ask you how I'm feeling. I'm just be like, I'm good. Da 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 da. When I know that I'm not, but I'm going to say I'm good. But I ain't going to be around nobody like that. But that's something I use to do it. Now, getting back to the topic. A lot of people say it's harsh. Shouldn't judge people like this. Now I'm going to judge it because every person that lives like this has a certain kind of personality. They're very big masters at manipulating. They're very big masters at manipulating the system and manipulating people. And this is a part of why this Trump situation has happened where all this shit got shut down. It's a humbling tactic. It's like, bitch, what you gonna do now that you don't have all this shit to help you? What you gonna do now that you know that you have skills? You see, because that bitch triggered everybody, but you know why she triggered everybody? Do you have skills, bitch? See, I know she's not talking to me. So whatever rock she threw, it ain't gonna hit me. You see what I'm saying? That's not, like, honestly, sometimes, being in where I'm at now, I just feel overqualified for a lot of jobs, even though I don't feel like I have enough, but I just feel overqualified. And I was told to just put down 1 or 2 jobs. Don't put down everything on that resume. And I'm like, well, what the fuck did I build the resume for? I was supposed to put my certifications. I'm supposed to put everything that I've accomplished on the resume. Is that not what the resume is? And the resume I got, that's not half of, that's just one side of what I've accomplished. That's not the other side of my media accomplishment, my writing accomplishments, shows I've been on. Like, I have a lot of things that I've done throughout my life. A lot of things I've done throughout my life. And that's my resume. I mean, understand, as a woman who is free-spirited, open, you read a lot of books. We just started the audio book on the laws of human nature, following laws of human nature, the 48 laws of power, right? And all these different type things. I got something to show y'all too, by the way. And all these different type things, right? You got to understand that the world does not look the same after you read these books. That's the power of reading, especially when your purpose of reading is to be more intelligent, to understand energy. Like, I want to understand jealousy, right? I want to understand what it is to really be sad or depressed. Like, what is that energy really? What is jealousy? What is envy? That's the main thing. What is this? What is the science of this, and what causes this? Because if through the semen warfare, right? Anybody understands semen warfare can cause jealousy to be in you in places that you've never been jealous before because of male's energy. Well, then what the fuck is jealousy? See what I'm saying? Because Jay-Z said jealousy is a female trait. That's not true. Because you get into the biology, actually, jealousy is a spirit thing. Jealousy is something that can be very much taught as well in life. So what is jealousy? You see, and how to recognize jealousy, and how to recognize my own jealousies. Maybe I did not even see my own. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what we learn this stuff for, is because you have to go back and reflect. Not look at somebody in my life and be like, this fucking narcissist in my life, and this fucking narcissist, and this motherfucking sociopath. Well, why did I attract that? Why did I attract alcoholic? Why was a narcissist in my life that long? Why did I have children with a narcissist? Because there's something narcissistic about me. Because why did I carry on something that deep inside I didn't really want? Why did I carry on something, making it believe to be something that it wasn't? That was my narcissism. Do you get what I'm saying? And what else was what was my rage and my anger and all these different things? This is all a part of the capacity to self-reflect. Why did I offend that room, that Sheena room I told y'all I'd be at, and just be cracking up at them talking about other people's lives in the street, people who are homeless and cults and shit like that, right? Because the mother, so see, that's the thing too. I don't believe nothing online, okay? Somebody's mother can call in, so-called. People are very showy people. So they can stage a whole goddamn everything on their show to get the views going, to get people going. They will stage a fight. I know how this world works. So-called, I'm going to say so-called, this Eliana girl's mother called in the show, right? I missed that part. I'm going to go back and listen, right? And they said she went off on everybody and this, that, and the third. And so they begin to say, well, something about what would you do if that was your daughter and she was with a transgender and it was in a cult and they had a baby together. And I said it wouldn't be my daughter because I teach her not to deal with black males so she don't have to deal with the BS the rest of y'all go through. Now, all the time I've commented in that chat room, they saw that comment and somebody, I can't remember the name, it started with a C, was like, who the fuck is this person? And I felt that I triggered the fucking room. Because at first I said having 5 children and no support by the father is not a flex. That's the first thing I said. And then I made that comment. And of course, I got fucking put on blocked pretty much. Timeout. They blocked me. But why did I get blocked for saying that? I got blocked because number one, I said my daughter's not going to date black males. That was offensive. Number two, I said, so she won't go through the BS like y'all. That was the main thing. So she won't go through the BS like y'all. That was an attack. But we all know that's the truth. And so all these women begin to talk about what they would do for their daughters and this and that. Okay, bitch. Okay. Believe none of what you hear online. Okay, I just Bigo taught me that. Be none of what you hear and half of what the fuck you see online. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to continue to tell you this, and I'm sure it's going to be psychologists going to tell you this. I'm going to continue to tell you this because there's something I noticed. People who are psychologists or anything like that, doctors or whatever, they get up on that microphone, they get on their YouTube channel, and they keep their YouTube channel based up. Goddamn, it's getting a little too dark. And I got to start this laundry. They sit here and they start their YouTube channel, and they keep the YouTube channel based upon what it is that they talk about. I mean, they don't go into nothing else. They don't involve themselves into anything else. They keep it focused on what it's supposed to be focused on. You get what I'm saying? And they don't even like, if people, I know sometimes people try to get them to get into mainstream media shit, unless they're body language readers and stuff like that, it's different. But like, I noticed that they stay focused on the topic and they just keep going and going and going. You don't hear them per se talk about other people's lives. You don't hear them get into other people's lives for criticism. They focus on their scholarship, right? When people are online and they're discussing other people, when people are online and you have to, this is what I'm trying to tell you, that's why you have to study jealousy. When people are online and they're going in about other people, and then they'd be like, well, notice they always say, well, I always supported and liked their channel until they did this. See, I noticed that. That's jealousy. That's envy. The jealousy and envy was there already by the time they even said, well, they made me move and start doing my channel. No, you started doing your channel because you was in competition with that person. And once you seen them fall, now you got your space on this world stage to drag them down. You see how the game go? But let me tell y'all something. Anybody who's in any kind of space like YouTube or anything like this, that are online consistently like this, and they're talking like this, something is wrong in their lives. Debate me on that. Something is wrong in their lives. They're delusional about something. They're lying about something. Whatever they're presenting is not all the way real. And if they do meet somebody offline, because I heard people talking about, well, me and you gonna meet offline, and you know, your husband can come and I go find me some guy to come with me. Bitch, you stupid. If you go and meet a bitch offline and you have a husband and she doesn't, and y'all go meet, bitch, that's problem. She might have the intentions to go fuck your husband. You got people who live very dirty lives, okay? Deviant, degenerate lives that are online. And they have to get up here and be showy and flashy, okay? And they have to get up here and they have to make sure that you know how great their motherfucking lives is and how great everything is. And some of these people have been on TV, but when you look at them, you can tell these motherfuckers ain't happy. I don't believe a true happy person is online. I stand on that. I don't believe a person who's online like this has some kind of dysfunction somewhere. I don't deny my life. Anybody who's been around for a long time, you already know There's no need for me at 40 to get into shit. It wasn't no need for me at goddamn 37 to get into shit no more. I retired from talking about all that shit. But I will get up here and talk about this. I will get up here and talk about what I analyze and observe and write about. What I need to be writing more about. I will sit here and talk about the things and the people in my personal world, not ever talk and say names. I'll never do that. But actually be transparent enough to talk about the people that I encounter in my personal world to say the things that I say. Because I don't be wrong. I be on point about the shit I say. That's why I speak about it the way that I do. Anybody can come up here and debate me. It ain't shit for me. I've been dealing with debate since the age of 19. It ain't shit for me. But don't come up here expecting me to explain shit to you, because I ain't explaining shit to you. You want some shit to be explained to you? I don't know. Go back to an old show or something, if it's even up anymore. I'm not here to prove a goddamn thing to no fucking body. I got a life outside of this shit. I ain't here to show my face to no fucking body. If you don't know my socials, then that's on you. And even then, everybody can't get into my socials. Speaking of that, V314 Bad Bitch Craft Radio has a Facebook page. Let me go ahead and drop that for y'all. I need to start putting that in the description. And actually my, what's the name thing? You know, when you do your socials and stuff like that. Definitely let y'all put y'all onto that. You drop that in the link. I need to put that in the fucking about section. I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. If you don't know what I look like, yeah, you just don't know what the fuck I look like. Like, I don't think it's important. I'm sitting here talking. I don't think it's important for you to know what I look like. You ain't gonna do nothing but get mad when you see what I look like, because I'm pretty. I'm not washed up. All I need to do is just work out my belly. That's it. I need to just do a little bit more belly workout, a little bit more squats, and I'm good. Because I can throw on a goddamn body shaper and nobody ever know nothing or notice anything. I will notice it, but nobody else will. But I don't feel comfortable doing that. I only want to put on my body shaper as if I'm shaping up my body again and I'm actually doing exercise and squats and these different things to make sure my body looks the way that I want it to look. That's it. Okay. And another thing, how does this tie into everything that I'm talking about right now? I'm going to tell you how does it tie into that. You ever noticed the woman with the multiple children, multiple baby father situation? Like I said, they don't all not take care of their children, but let's just say that's her situation, right? Listen, you ever notice she has to be grandiose? She has to let everybody know how independent she is and how she's done so much for this and that and no help. And she always has to let people know all the material things that she has accomplished for herself. It's equivalent to the short person in the Hummer. It's equivalent to the short person in cars that look like a fucking Mack truck. She has to make up for something. It's equivalent to the teenage mother who started as a teenage mother with multiple children, multiple baby fathers, in a failed marriage. It's equivalent to the same thing. They have to make up for something. And see, I noticed this because my partner was telling me she don't like how I talk down about myself. She said, when I do that, she's going to start hanging up the phone on my ass and she's not going to deal with it because she just don't like that I do that. She's not tolerating my self-loathing episodes anymore. That's what she has announced to me 2 days ago. Okay. After I had my last one, she was just like, I'm not doing it no more. I said, okay. I accepted it. So it puts my ass in check. And by that, because I have a double 9 connection with my partner, my Venus in Scorpio, hers is in Pisces. How funny. It makes me crack up every time I say that out loud. And the thing is, what that did to me is it made me realize how simple I keep my life. I got like a little clutter, but the clutter is my artwork. The clutter is my crafts and my hobbies, right? My vinyl stickers and all the things that I need to just go ahead and just use the fuck up till there's no more and re-up again, right? I really do. I need to do that. It made me think about that, right? It made me think about all the people that I watch, all the women that I keep on my YouTube channel when I'm learning something. And I look at their lives. And they have no children, or if they have children, the children is in a stable relationship situation, like a stable co-parent relationship. And it made me realize that these women have never ever expressed, these women don't have multiple children by multiple males. These women's lives is based off their mind, not their body. Even if they do have a very, because most intelligent women, we have some freaky lives when we have a partner, we do. But that person gets that from us. And if the woman does talk about sex and sexuality, it's spoken in a very grown and sexy way. I noticed that. So this goes into a frequency of intelligence. When you have multiple children by multiple dicks, it means that there's something lacking in your intelligence and you're possibly mentally ill. And what I want the woman who has this situation to do, especially because if you're over here listening to me, if you end up having a book written by me in your motherfucking hand, you have already taken a different step in your life and you want changes. My rising is Scorpio. I have Saturn in Scorpio, next to Venus in Scorpio. My life and the environment in which I am is everything about a Scorpio rising. Speaking of that, we're going to watch a channel on Scorpio rising, or Scorpio in the first house. Let me first click on it and then I'll bring you guys to it because it's going to be in my history. Let's see, what's this shit? Damn. I had wanted to show a video. It was of Dame Dash. And he was like, you know, don't read the fucking 48 laws of power or some stupid ass shit that he had said. Yeah. And he explained, like they tell stories. Oh shit, I clicked the wrong button. He explains why not to, but while y'all watch that, I'm going to get into my analysis of this. Hold on, let me can I stop it? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get into that while I find this what's the name thing in the jingle. All right, fair use. Let's go.
40 Laws of Power, like they tell stories.
First of all, the 40 Laws of Power is a cheater's book.
Why you say that?
Because Leor uses it.
I agree. Okay, in that case, you're right.
Let me tell you this. In every body's office in the music business, it's the 48 Laws of Power. I know everyone's tricks just by reading that dumbass book.
I agree.
All that book is for cheaters. Perception and all that other, it's for cheaters. It's how you take over and erase somebody's culture. That's not what I'm trying to do. I fight fair. I want to look at you. I don't steal, I take. It's different. I don't want to be sneaky. You see, weak people have to be real strategic about the way they get at you. They do it sneaky.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let's address this. This is dangerous information right here. This is dangerous. Okay, that video is 6 minutes. I found it. This is dangerous information, y'all. Let's listen to him again.
Laws of Power, like they tell stories.
First of all, the 40 Laws of Power is a cheater's book.
Why you say that?
Because Leor uses it.
I agree. Okay, in that case, you're right.
Let me tell you this.
He said it's a cheater's book, but that's life. People cheat, people lie, people scam. He's from New York City. He should know that.
In every body's office in the music business, it's the 48 Laws of Power. I know.
if everybody in the music business book is the 48 Laws of Power, then I definitely need to read it again. I remember someone told me, you need to read the book 48 Laws of Power. I said, I read it already. You need to read that book again. And here I am 10 years, 15 years later, about to read that book again. Because it's a book that needs to be read. And I read it. I did read it again, but I need to read it again. Because there are books that should be books of study. They shouldn't be read and put to the side. It's not a romance book. No, you need to study it. You need to see it in your life. You need to annotate it. You need to make, if it's electronic and you study it, actually a studied book should be in your hands. You should go to cheapbooks.com, not sponsored to do this. Is it thriftbooks.com? It's cheap books or I think it's thriftbooks.com. Find your book and get the book in your hand. Get the physical book in your hand and annotate that motherfucker. It's your book. Keep it in your house. Write down people's names. Let it be a burn book, but you study. You have to write like nobody's reading.
Everyone's tricks just by reading that dumbass book.
I agree.
All that book is for cheaters. Perception and all that other, it's for...
Robert said he wrote that book for people who are unaware. Because there are people that are unaware that people like this exist. There's people that don't want to believe. There's people that want to give people the benefit of the doubt. There's people that want to look at things with rose-colored fucking glasses. And they don't want to accept that people in this world is that fucked up. And I'm here to tell you that they are that fucked up. All right? Let's go ahead and get to this. Damn, that bitch is 6 minutes. I don't think... it'll probably just take me 6 minutes to do what I got to do. 1 second. What was the next video? Hold on. Okay. Oh, well, Robert Greene exposes how negative people steal your energy. So I'm going to go ahead and let that play. And I'll be back. Okay, just let this play.
Cheaters. It's how you take over and erase somebody's culture. That's not what I'm trying to do. I fight fair. I want to look at you. I don't steal. I take. It's different. I don't want to be sneaky. You see, weak people have to be real strategic about the way they get at you. They do it sneaky.
Yeah.
A CRM shouldn't set your teams back. It should revolutionize the way they work. A CRM shouldn't block your workflow. It should make it fly. A CRM shouldn't let customers slip through the cracks. It should connect them to your teams. A CRM shouldn't leave you in the dark. It should deliver insights clear as day. Get started for free.
So let's say you have to read an incredibly long email from your boss that you have to finish before the big meeting starts in 10 minutes. Or you're cramming for an exam the night before, but can't bear to keep your eyes open to read one more textbook chapter. Or you're reviewing a dense legal document that could change your life forever. Or you're proofreading your thesis one last time before you submit it to make sure there aren't any errors. No matter what you have to read, we could all use a second pair of eyes to help us retain information and put our best foot forward.
Damn it, I'm back, y'all.
Enter Speechify, a reading assistant powered by artificial intelligence and...
Weak people use this book and have to be strategic. Let me tell you something. I say intelligent people are strategic. You can't get mad at an intelligent person. That's the name of the game. Whether they're weak or not, you can't get mad at an intelligent person. You can't get mad at somebody who, like I said, like myself, who will sit down with a book, write down motherfuckers at work, co-workers and shit, pay attention to who they are, see what kind of personality they are, what kind of role they play, apply the books that I read to my life. You can't get mad at somebody like that. I don't think everything in this world requires you to be motherfucking strong and tough. You have to know who you're fighting. And if it takes, and I encourage anybody who listens to V314 Bad Bitch Craft Radio, I encourage you to get a burn book. I encourage you to get that burn book and look at everything, every part of your life. Apply books. Apply the books that you read in your life. The books you study, go to that website, thriftbooks.com. Go over there. Get that book in your hand for a good, decent price. And I promise you, it's going to make a difference of how you navigate this world and for yourself. Nobody is going to be safe. Shit, you can add me in the motherfucking book. Study me. I don't give a shit. But as long as you do it. And it just turned into this series that I'm doing called The Black Woman's Guide. Someone needs to tell the truth. I like the way that I speak. I like the way that I deliver. I know how to say something in a way that's nurturing, compassionate, but also in a very Queen of Swords way to give you the truth. And I like that about me. So I have a voice that can be heard. I have a voice that could be understood, as well as misunderstood, but I can defend myself at the same time. A lot of these people, I listen to them. Listen, you got to understand this. And this is a reality. Okay? You are a Black woman of color or Caribbean woman. That's why I put women of color in there. Your life is gothic. Your life is dark. Our history is dark and gothic. Our history comes from a fucking 6 to 7 generations, probably 8 now, of slavery. It don't matter who owned anybody. Nobody should have been owning any human beings. Slavery. That's a harsh reality that must be faced. Don't let these divestors try to tell you to let that go. They want everything of Black history, Black culture to be erased, and everything about the Black male to be erased, and even you to be erased. Don't be fooled. That's their ultimate agenda. And eventually it's going to expose itself. And I'm going to stand on it. 2024, I'm going to stand on what I say those divested zealous agenda is. Now, moving forward, now that you have that in your head first and understand that the world hates you, Black woman, when you understand that first, that harsh reality that has to hit you first, that has to hurt, because no matter how you spell the word truth, you spell the word hurt, right? You got to understand that first. That's the first step. And then you can walk down to this path that I'm just taking you down in with me. Now, we didn't get to the Clean Your House series. And when I get to the Clean Your House part, that's gonna, ooh. I can't wait to get to that one, but I'm definitely gonna get to that one, because that one's gonna get a little bit personal. But clean your house, because this comes a part of it. Now, getting back to what I was just saying. Let's go ahead and jump into the Scorpio rising. Let's go. Fair use.
Well, it all depends on the details, the kind of negative person you're dealing with. There are several kind of ways of looking at it, some kind of micro and some kind of much larger. The larger picture is we all have negative traits. We all have dark traits, right? And so you kind of, if you have this idea that it's just human beings are like this, it's like a flower or a rock or a tree, it has its nature. I just accept it. I accept people for who they are, and I deal with them on that level. I don't judge them, etc. Now, of course, when you're dealing with negative people, it can be very difficult because negative people like to stir up a lot of drama around them. And that's the kind of power that they get. They like the attention that they get from making people upset, from pulling on your emotions, right? So you have to have this kind of larger look at them where it's not about me, right? They're dealing with their own issues, their own problems. There's a history behind it. It could be their parents, it could be their family, it could be their spouse, their children, whatever. And they're venting it on me in this particular moment, but it's not personal. I tell people, don't take everything so personally, right? But then, so there's all these different levels, and it all really depends on the specifics because a lot of people come to me for advice. But a lot of times you're enmeshed with a negative person, like it's your boss, it's your spouse, et cetera, et cetera. And it's very difficult to do what I'm talking about, right?
Work today is broken. We're all working in too many disconnected apps, and it's killing team productivity. But for the first time, there's a platform that fixes it by combining everything you need.
And so you have to try and get a little bit of distance from them. You have to be able to say to yourself, they're not me, right? They have their own problems. I'm separate from them. The sense of being separate from them is very liberating, right? So they have issues and they're trying to drag me into it and they're trying to drag me down. But I'm not them. I have my own life and I'm not going to get involved. Sometimes you need to have empathy, but sometimes you need to shut that off. And so the best thing in life, though, is that's why I say there's just so many angles to approach this from, is if they're like a deep narcissist, and that's probably the most common type of negative person you deal with in the world today. And we all have come across this. The power that you have is to recognize people like that before you get involved with them and to not get involved with them, right? And so they have signs, things that you can pick up in advance. People who are toxic, I don't know if we're going to toxic and negative are the same here. They don't show it immediately. They're good at deceiving you. They can be very charming. They can be very dramatic. They pull you in with their great stories. Sometimes they're even charismatic. A lot of important CEOs in the world, people like Elon Musk, are raging narcissists. They appear very exciting and you want to get to know them. But you have to recognize that these are people that are probably going to use you, right? They don't see you as an individual. And the people you associate with, we're very, as humans, we're very open to the emotions of other people, right? And so the people you associate with have a huge role on who you are and the energy you have, your daily life, et cetera, et cetera. And so you have to be very, very careful who you let into your life. Right? And God, Jay, I don't know. There's so many different angles to approach it from.
No, that's really
I tell people that don't judge people's
from a panel before he gets to that. It's about analysis and how to properly analyze. First of all, we analyze things. We analyze things. We analyze things from within ourselves, from within our experiences, from within our triggers, from within. Everything is from within when we analyze things about people. So when someone sees me in my all gothic look and they get the fuck away from me, that's their internal analysis of me. But it's also a vibrational thing because more than likely that person is not the person I want to even fuck with me, right? The internal analysis that we have of people, I say, face the truth, face the reality. This is a stranger. I do not fucking know this person. And when I'm talking to this person, I'm getting to know this person. When I'm looking at this person, I'm getting to know this person. And until I get into further conversation with this person, I'm getting to know this person. See, even in my own personal relationships, I do the same thing. I'm getting to know my own family again, because this is not the family that I was around for majority of my life. You see, I'm getting to know my one of my little brothers that I'm the closest to, because this is not I wasn't in his life. You see what I'm saying? I didn't know him as a teenager. I didn't know him. You see what I'm saying? So now we're getting acquainted again. You see what I'm saying? It's like I'm starting all over again, because you make those choices, right? So it turns into this thing where it's not that I'm trying to tell you to be mean and be harsh. You know what I'm saying? If you're mean and harsh, that's just who you are, and I can't control that, right? But it is a part of intuition, even the way you analyze things. You know, there's somebody at work, she just doesn't like me. There's something about me, she just doesn't like me. And I'm like, she's smart. She's smart to not like me. Whatever she sees about me that she don't like, it's best that she just keep her distance and keep herself round up and stay away from me, right? That's smart. I mean, she's not trying to be in my face like another coworker, because see, this is another thing. That coworker distanced herself, and she made it known that she didn't like me from a little comment that she had made. When, you know, she made it seem like it was a work, you know, smiled or whatever, but I knew it was shady. You know what I'm saying? While another coworker who's shady, that doesn't like me, you see what I'm saying? Still in my face. You see what I'm saying? So you have to see how it happens. Yeah.
As far as who are you going to let into your life, don't be deceived by the appearances. Don't judge people based on their intelligence, on their charm, on whether they're good or bad, etc. Judge them on their character, whether they have a weak or a strong character.
What are some of the signals, the signs we can look out for? Because I think what you just said is so true, that we naturally get attracted to people's appearance, intelligence, charisma. Access, because we haven't really been trained to view character.
Yeah.
So I remember when I lived in the monastery, the highest quality or character trait that was considered the epitome of internal emotional evolution was humility. And so when you met someone who was humble and you met someone who didn't have false ego, they were considered of high character. And we were trained in order to understand that. But in the modern world, that isn't how the material world works. We're almost attracted to people who can come off arrogant and showboaty. And even if we sense we don't like that, we still believe that person has power. And so what are things that we have to look out for?
Well, also there are people who appear to be humble, but they're not really humble.
Agreed.
There's a lot of people now who feign humility because it's seen as a positive trait.
Yes.
So humans are born actors, and you have to kind of look behind the mask. So I tell people, I view it as strong or weak character. A strong character is a person who can take criticism, right? Who can work with other people, right? Who can deal with stressful situations, who can handle responsibility. And if there's something goes wrong, they take, I'm to blame for it. They don't look at other people. There's somebody you can rely on. And you lean on them, and there's something there to lean on. You can rely on them in situations. A weak character is somebody who cannot take criticism. That is probably the number one characteristic, the worst trait, I think, in people, and a definite trait of negativity, is somebody who can't take any kind of criticism, right? They're so defensive. So that means they can get away with anything. They can say anything they want, and there's just like a wall, a shell around them, right? So the ability in a work situation, in a relationship, to take criticism and be able to use it constructively is an incredibly useful and powerful trait to me that reveals strong character. How people handle stress is a really good sign of their character. So in a work situation, people are good at faking it and pretending that they're very strong. But when it gets really stressful and there's a lot of pressure on it, the mask falls off and they reveal that they can't handle it. They're too weak They're reacting to everything. They can't get out of the moment. They're so impatient, and fragile. And so the ability to handle stress shows that somebody has something strong inside of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
How they handle power, right? So when people are kind of climbing up the ladder in a group or in a job, they generally try and pretend like they're with the group. But once they have power, that all falls off, and they can become abusive, and they feel like they can get away with any things that they couldn't get away with before. They treat people below them miserably, etc. So when people have power, how do they handle it? Are they responsible? Do they suddenly become somebody different, or do they maintain the character that they had beforehand? Right? What kind of partners do they choose? Do they choose a spouse, a husband, a girlfriend, etc.? Somebody that they can push around, somebody that's inferior to them so that they can feel better about themselves?
This is what I'm getting at. You look at the characteristics of these people with multiple kids and multiple daddies, right? Think I'm lying? Take somebody in your life that you know, whether family or outside of your family. Write down exactly what kind of fucking personality they have. Can I tell you something? It's one thing I'm gonna tell you straight up. You meet a woman like me, I'm gonna put it out there. Children, one dick. Never married, don't give a fuck about marriage. Went on with my life, celibacy, and with the woman that I'm with now, right? But you don't know me, but that's what you know about me, right? So you're going to make assumptions. You're going to make an assumption that if you're a male-centered woman, you're going to make all kind of assumptions about what that was, right? And that's fine. You can make them. I know me and I know myself, so I don't give a fuck what you say. The thing is, the first thing I would say is this a selfish ass bitch. That's what I would say. And I would even think, I'm not going to hold you. I would even say this bitch may even be narcissistic or crazy. That's the first thing I would say about myself. I was outside looking at myself. I'll be like, and I think the first thing I would say about myself is that I'm a narcissist or something is very narcissistic about me. That's the first thing that I would say about myself. Okay? Now, what is the traits that you see with women with multiple children and multiple fathers, multiple dicks to those children? What are the traits that you see? What is the personality that you see? What is the ego and the denial that you see? What is the attitude that you see? I mean, we got Kendra G as the whole social experiment. Look at all of those women. They get up. They have this grandiose attitude. They're smiling, they're happy. Oh, this, that, and the third, and I got this, and this, that, and the third, and then this happened, and they blame the other person for everything that went wrong. Everything that went wrong, they blame the other person. You ever notice that? And then as soon as someone points the finger at them all the way, take their whole hand and point all the fingers at them like that directly, let me tell you what happens. That's when you see their rage come out. That's when they start going into all the materialistic thing they got, all the degrees and accomplishments that they have, all of these things. But what these people fail to realize, none of that means anything, because you're trying to still say, well, I'm an intelligent person. I'm an accomplished person. I have all these material things. But they don't realize, well, we're not surprised because you have multiple children, multiple baby fathers. That's multiple child support checks. You're on Section 8. Everybody's going to assume that. Even if she did accomplish these things and still pay for them on her own or whatever, no one is still going to ever trust her. No one is going to want to be in a relationship with her unless they too have multiple baby mamas themselves or multiple baby daddies themselves. And I'm starting to see when people get into relationships, especially in lesbian relationships with women and women, or bisexual, whatever, women and women, I noticed that it's always, if she has multiple children, multiple fathers, so does the woman that she's with. Something ain't right. Something ain't right when you see it the opposite way around. And this is the personality of all these people. Because I feel like the woman who may not have children that's friends with someone like that, I don't give a damn if y'all was friends since childhood, who's friends with someone like that, something in you is vicariously living through this woman's life. And something is not right about you. No independent, happy, free-spirited woman wants to be around anyone like that. Even if it's their own family member. They still don't want to, they still, like, they may love the children or whatever, but they still don't want to deal with a woman like that. And that applies to a male too. A free, happy, free-spirited male, unless he wants a family or whatever, then he'll, but other than that, something's still wrong with him. Because he has the freedom to go find him a wife or find him something that he can build for himself. He don't need to do it that way. And I don't care. I think all males who, and I'm going to say it, all males who deal with women like that are perverts. Now, if you've known this woman and she's been in your life for a major long time, and this is a woman you still want to be with, I still don't excuse you. You're a fucking pervert and you're a sexual fucking deviant. How could you be comfortable with that? And that's just my judgment.
How do they look when they're playing like a game or they're in outdoor activities or something that has something to do with work? Are they so competitive they have to win at everything, even when it's like outside of that kind of environment, you know? These are kind of traits that help me sort of judge a person's character.
Yeah, and these are often the things that we, or we actually let them kind of fall by the wayside or don't pay enough attention to them. Because we think, oh no, but they're so smart and they're so this. And I wonder how much of that is also like, what does that say about us that we often get attracted to the wrong things within people? What does that say about us? Does that make us a strong or weak character?
I know that I tend to get involved with narcissistic people. It's a weakness of mine, right?
Now, let me say something. Here's the thing. Look at that definition of narcissism is identified as a common negative trait with example of charismatic individuals who may be deceptive in their interactions, right? Notice that charismatic individuals who may be deceptive in their interactions. He said he attracts them. So now he's going to get into himself and why he attracts that. Technically, I do too.
And maybe it's because of my upbringing, and maybe it's because I feel a kind of emptiness inside of me, and that their charm and the attention that they pretend to give you is kind of enchanting or casts a spell on you, and it draws you in. Yeah, so if you're dealing with your own weaknesses and your own emptiness inside, you're going to be drawn to people who fill that up. Or you're going to be drawn to causes and charismatic leaders that pretend to give you a purpose in your life because you don't have a purpose, but they have it for you, kind of thing. So a lot of it has to do, with ourselves, and we're attracted we're even attracted to negative people. And there are people who have patterns in their life where they deliberately choose the worst kind of person for them, right? And over and over and over again, because at least that makes them feel alive. At least the pain of it, gives them a sense of something dramatic, and so they deliberately bring on that kind of pain. So it's complicated, yeah.
And see, here's another thing. Hold on. Okay, that was it. Okay. I'm glad a lot of these psychologists are actually talking about the dark side and your true self. And I'm glad they're finally doing this. Like, because it was too much of this, that's a narcissist, and a narcissist is this and that. And when I first heard someone say to me, like, well, everyone has narcissism, it's just certain levels of narcissism. And I remember someone said to me, you're a little narcissistic. And I kind of was like offended by that. Like, I was very offended. But I said, once I hit 40, a lot of things kind of just like shifted in my brain, and a lot of things, and the way I look at life is just different. And then on top of that, not only am I 40, I'm in a 7 personal cycle right now, you know? So beginning this 7 personal cycle, you know, it's going to be a lot of self-reflection, hibernation, isolation, truth that's going to be unveiled to me. Saturn is in Pisces. My moon and Pluto is sitting right there in the 12th house. So 40 is definitely, I knew it before I hit 40. Like even back when I was 30, I was like, damn, when I hit 40, because I'm one of those. But like before I said, damn, when I hit 40, it's going to be a major change in me, like a major transformation within me. But I realized like it's an internal change that I'm going to have, like, and I'm making that internal change. And this is a great way to go into my 30s, into my 40s, because the smart thing about me is I'm sitting here by myself. The smart thing about me is I'm building up my finances and learning financial literacy. The smart thing about me is I'm not walking around here being nobody's baby fucking mama or having more children or any of that. That is where I'm very smart. And I didn't do those things in my 30s. And so I'm very proud of myself. I'm not proud of the interactions and the people I fucking wasted my time with. But then again, it wasn't a waste of time because it was an experience that I needed in life. All of that I went through in my life was all experiences that I needed. And I have them. There's things in my life that, especially from my 20s until like age 33, like I don't even care about no more. I don't get emotional about no more. I don't even barely remember anymore. It's gone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm proud to say at 40 years old, and I'm proud to be here in the South, definitely, and look around at everybody and the stupid shit that they do, to sit here and be like, well, goddamn, I'm more wise than what I give myself credit for. I am more in tune than what I give myself credit for, more intelligent than what I give myself credit for, from the decisions that I have decided to make in my life. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Do I got anything else to say? Yes, we're going to go ahead and jump into this Scorpio in the first house. I don't know why they titled it how people steal your energy, because I think Robert was being very honest, because like he said before we hop into this video, is that, you know, he attracts narcissists. So you have to ask yourself, what do you attract?
Turning text into speech instantly using AI and
the kind of people that you attract and why? Because I went back to that again. Hold on. Man, let's go.
Friend, we're talking today about Scorpio on the first house, also known as Scorpio rising.
This is a series of videos on house rulership. I'm Rachel Hardy. I'm working in Western astrology whole sign house system, which means that each house, which represents an area of life, is ruled by one sign. So in whole sign, wherever your ascendant falls will begin your first house. We're talking today about having Scorpio on the first house, also known as Scorpio rising, what this means if your first house is ruled by Scorpio, and what it says about how you show up in the world. So the first house is the public you. It's the visible you as an individual, the you that people see walking down the street, interacting with others. It includes your physical appearance, how you show up. This is your first house. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto's energy is sometimes maligned and feared, and I'm here to tell you there is nothing to be afraid of with Pluto energy. It's about the deepest transformation. So if you're here in this life to transform yourself and or others, Pluto's energy is here to support you, to facilitate that, and there is absolutely nothing to fear. When Scorpio rules your first house, this principle of deep total transformation is going to be present somehow in who you are in a public way. It's going to be there somehow evident in how you show up. And maybe you facilitate, well, I'm going to say in some way you do facilitate this transformation from others. That may be in your literal work, or it may simply be in the presence of who you are. It's part of your coding. Like it or not, you are a transmitter of transformation with this house rulership. Pluto is also all about personal power. And often the journey in going through life is in coming into a different relationship with this personal power that you already own. The invitation with Scorpio on the first house, with Scorpio rising, is to fully own that personal power and to fully own the magnetism that you hold. You have a very strong energy, which may have been muted down. It may have been held in or even turned inwards, or perhaps made wrong. And it's quite possible that the journey of your life has been and is about owning this energy and projecting it, although you don't even need to project. You just are it. You are strong, you are intense, you are magnetic. Taking off any barriers that hold this back or that would restrict you from simply being, and allowing your energy to land however it lands with others. Because that's another part of this placement, is that people are going to react to you strongly. And this may be part of why you might have shut your power down in the past, because people are going to be activated by your energy, your presence. And it may activate things in them that are uncomfortable, or that are illuminating things that are ready to be seen, but may not be comfortable for them to look at or feel or sense. This is what you naturally do as a Scorpio, is you illuminate the depths. You probe into things without even trying. You're probably very good at seeing into the depths of secrets, seeing right through what is happening, knowing what's up.
And this is why I offended that person on that Sheena show. This is why I offended the whole room. I felt it. I offended the entire room by saying my daughter won't go through that because I'm raising her to not date black males so she doesn't have to go through the BS like y'all. That was a slap. And then before that, I said, 5 children, no father support is not a flex. It started there. But they saw that one comment that I made, like, who is this person? Who is this person? Get rid of them. For what? You asked the question. You said, what would you do if this was your daughter? And I just told you it wouldn't be her. And this is why it would not be her. So why are you offended?
Again, the trusting of that may be a journey, but you know what you see, you know what you sense, you know the energy that you feel. Owning this power and being comfortable with it is likely a part of your journey. Scorpio's a water sign, and water signs go deep. Now, remember, there's going to be a lot of factors that make up your chart. You've got your sun sign, your moon, you've got all of the different placements that bring out parts of who you are. But with a water sign and an intense water sign like Scorpio on the first house, there are 2 possibilities for how this often show up. You may be very emotionally intense and have it right out front and center, but Scorpio is also very private, very protective. There may be a way in which your emotions are actually buried very deep, or you might vacillate.
One thing about me, I realize what kind of person, because my Venus is in Scorpio, so I think I know where I'm going with this. In the 12th house, the first house. I am very attracted. I often attract people who are sexually experienced, right? And and it makes sense that I'm polyamorous as well, because like I have something with me where if I'm with somebody who is not sexually experienced, I feel like unsexually experienced people are going to they're going to want to get more than what they already have. Because people who are sexually experienced, they done sexually experience things, but it's like, what defines sexual experience? Like, what if your sexuality is one sex, so then your sexual experience is going to be inside of what that sex is, right? Your sexuality is bi, then you're going to have sexual experiences that you want in those two experiences, right? Right. So with that being said, it happens where I personally feel like, you know, for me, that is a little bit of a trait that I get. But understand that when you get with somebody who is sexually experienced or someone who's sexual that way, sexual people are controlling. They do hold the Scorpio trait. It's not, people who have sex like that, there's not a trait where they're not controlling or possessive or want to own people.
Between the two, but it's probably one extreme or the other. There's not a lot of middle ground with Scorpio. And again, the invitation here is to allow your intensity, to allow your depths, to allow your presence, be the transformational agent that you simply are. Scorpio, again, can be deeply mysterious. There may be a way that you hold things very deep inside. And again, that emotion may be quite buried underneath the surface. Takeaways here. You're coded for transmitting deep transformation. However that's meant to show up in you, I'm going to invite you to allow it to be public, allow it to be present, because this is where this transformational energy is meant to come forward, is in you as a very public individual. Again, that may be career related or not. It may simply be in your interactions with others. But however your power wants to come through you, I'm going to invite you to step out of the way if this is your path. Allow your power to be present. Own your power, own your magnetism, and simply allow yourself to be. Because in doing this, you facilitate very naturally deep transformation for others. If your first house is Scorpio, then that means your second house, which is the house of money, is ruled by Sagittarius. And we'll talk about that in the next video.
Okay, I need to motherfucking watch this. Thank you. Shout out to Bob. Bobito, Bob Barney's definitely sent me that. Shout out to you for sending me that video. So it goes what she said at the end of the video about myself. I trigger. Okay, I trigger. I say things. I bring out things in people. Okay, that's a powerful fucking bitch. All right, that's power right there. And therefore, this is why I experience the things that I experience. And what I'm learning is how to ground this power. And I've learned how to use my power in a way that's worth it. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel like when Mel say it, it's so convoluted that when women agree, these women are abused women and they're still seeking male validation, so it doesn't balance. And I feel like when a woman comes into a space to present this with pure honesty and transparency, then that is when it can be heard. Or maybe not, okay? But the main thing is, you're not going to get respected. People are looking at you as, you let somebody do that to you? You just allowed yourself to be played like that? It's like one time this guy was telling this woman, he was like, yeah, such and such, this dude took my weed. And so she said, you just let somebody just take your weed and you didn't do shit about it? You can't just walk around here being a victim all fucking day. You have to be mindful of what you're presenting and what you're saying when you're talking to people. When I talk at work, I talk about, I dead ass be talking about the news. I be giving information. I be doing that shit a lot. Some people don't watch the news. I get it. But I give out information a lot from the news, everything that I be watching, right? Because this is what I do, right? And then on top of that, I do be having information on things. Mercury's in Virgo on the 11th. I be having dead ass information on a lot of things. Some things I didn't even know I had information on, but I got information on it. So then, 1 second. So the thing is, I just got a text message and I'm like, wait a minute, what? Wait, what? I had to double look at that, like, wait, what? And so it's a harsh truth. But in conclusion, because this is a quick show, in conclusion, what do you do with harsh truths? You make the intelligent changes and transformation needed in your life. And you take your time. And I tell people, and this is the Libra in me talking, you start with what's around you. You start with how you're living. You start with what you are attracting and why you are attracting it. You start there. That's where the reflection comes in. That's what therapy does. Therapy helps you do the self-reflection. I don't rush people into therapy. You can do your own therapy until you're ready to go to somebody else to do the therapy. That's what I say. I don't rush the medications because you still have to be careful with what you're getting into. You need to know what you're getting into, but you can heal yourself. You can start somewhere. So when you start somewhere with recognizing these are the experiences I had. This is why I attracted these experiences in my life. These are the experiences I had. These are the friends, these are people I had, but this is about me and this is what I attracted. And you may find that you may realize that you have been lying to yourself. You may have to realize that you are not nobody's friend. You may have to really sit down and face the reality of yourself. And then it goes into what's called the shadow work and all that kind of stuff. And again, I don't encourage everybody to do it, but it has to be done because some people, it's too much when they have to do shadow work. So another thing that I also encourage, writing shit down, make you a burn book. You know what I'm saying? And when you write these things down, just from the way that I've been guiding you and teaching from this whole series, is that what you're going to find in your life is you're going to already know that you already have the answers, because the answers you're going to get the answer, but you're going to realize that you already know the answer. And when you come into understanding and knowing the answer to what it is that you've experienced and gone through and why you have experienced it by self-reflecting, that is when you can take new steps. I'm not saying because you have multiple kids and multiple fathers, you can't move forward with your life and you can't move forward into doing things different or better. No, once you have the recognition of what's going on with you, then you can take the step to move forward for your life. You may be a free-spirited person. It may be the fact that you don't have fathers in your children's lives because of your experience with fathers, is that fathers interrupt shit, fathers cause problems, or you may realize the minute you have these children with a complete perverts and you don't want them around the children. I can fucking understand that. Or you may just be free-spirited and this is just how you are and you only want to be the person that's in the child's life. That's fine, as long as you know that about yourself, as long as you're aware of that about yourself. Because the key is knowing yourself. Fuck everybody else. People can say what the fuck they want to say about me, what the fuck they think. A divester made a comment to myself, some of y'all end up, some of y'all with women now because of what a man did to you. Okay, bitch. Okay, you got your little shot, divested Zelliot, but that ain't what the fuck happened. Is that what you think? Is that what you believe? I thought you was intelligent enough to understand, but I have to remember, y'all clowns over there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't nothing serious over there. So you got to understand that these type of situations can be healed, can have a step of something. But let's just call it what it is. How many women with multiple kids and multiple baby daddies is reading books? How many kids with multiple kids and multiple baby daddies is even having the capacity to self-reflect? There are none. Prove me wrong. If you are one out there, show yourself. But a lot of times they don't. They're liars, they're schemers, they're users. I'm just telling you what it is. Their houses don't be clean. Even if their house is clean, something is dirty about them. Something's always something convoluted with the fucking kids. Everything in that house is fucking chaos. The mother wants the daughter to be something when she grows up and she doesn't. Wants the son to be something when he grows up and he doesn't. And the son rebels the most, end up being in and out of jail, being a loser ass nigga in relationships with women. It's always the same fucking story. Prove me wrong. And that's the reality. Because there's narcissism and the psychopath down in there. And somebody that's psychotic down in there. That's living this life. The chick my sister was with. This bitch had 5 kids, 5 different baby daddies, and then she had a husband who was in the streets. And they was in the streets together with the kids in the shelter. That's when my sister met her. My sister was going through something internally with herself, and it eventually came out, and she talked to me about it. And I knew it was something, and I had to talk to her out of it. I said, no, don't you dare go out there. This is the whole stud. I said, don't you dare do that. Don't you dare fucking do that to yourself. Don't you care. Trust me, your mom's an Aries. She don't give a fuck about that. I had to talk her down to not fucking do that shit. I knew something was going on with her being with a bitch like that. And guess what? The bitch daughter ran away at 11 years old. Unfortunately, this pretty black Spanish little girl in New York City, we already know what the story is going to be with that. She knocked on the door. My father wasn't there. He was upset because nobody was there. He said he would have made sure she was good because he was actually the one taking the kids to school because the mother wasn't there. He was taking her children to school. This is the type of people that they target. And then she went and had twins with some nigga that's a producer because she's singing, dancing, rapping, all this shit. Out of her mind, unbalanced, unstable. It don't matter with these women. That's the point I'm trying to get you all to understand. Because I doubt if a woman like this is even listening to a show like this. I fucking doubt it. I doubt that she listens to anything like a Robert Greene, anything with astrology. I doubt it. Anyway, that's been a show. It's been a short show, but yeah, man, let me finish doing my laundry.